a lot of times if your horse is not in front of the leg, it's your fault. And so you have to go back and reconsider how you're using your aids to get your horse in front of the leg. Hello everyone, today we are talking about get your horse in front of the leg. Before we get started with this video, there's a few free PDFs in the description box. There's one about patterns and figures to train your horse. There's also one about rider position that you definitely want to check out. So, question for you, is your horse in front of the leg? And what exactly is in front of the leg? This is a term that we hear a lot in riding, and sometimes it can get confusing about what exactly it means, and then also how you get your horse in front of the leg. So in today's video, I'm going to give you two of my favorite exercises to work on getting your horse in front of the leg. But first and foremost, what is in front of the leg? In front of the leg is the feeling that if you ask your horse to go forward, that they will immediately respond and go forward while maintaining the same nice soft contact. A couple of things that are really important when we talk about getting our horse in front of the leg. The first one is, of course, your leg position itself. So it's really important that your toes are pointing forward, and in general you should always have a little bit of light contact with your calf. So your neutral leg position should be your toes forward and your legs draping over your horse. So you don't want to be gripping with your knees, but it's just kind of like the weight of your leg is just draping around your horse. It's important that you are not always clamping on with your heel and your spur, because that's going to make your horse dull to those aids. So you always want to have a light pressure with your calf, but then when you ask your horse to go forward, always start with your calf, close your calf, and then use your spur. So a lot of times your horse can't be in front of the leg because you're nagging your horse all the time, and you always have like your spur and your heel on your horse, which we are all guilty of. So that's what is in front of the leg. Now I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite exercises to get your horse in front of the leg. And what's really important to remember is that if your horse is lazy and they don't want to go forward, the worst thing you can do is just chase them around the arena. And again, I've definitely made this mistake where I have a horse that's lazy, and so I'm just like driving, chasing, trying to keep the horse to go forward, and they just become more and more behind the leg. So the first exercise that you're going to do to get your horse in front of the leg are transitions. Start at the trot, half halt, you're going to walk, 2, 3, 4, and trot. Come on, big trot. And what you're looking for in these transitions is that you want the downward transition to be gradual. 1, 2, 3, 4, trot. And you want the upward transition to be like a rocket. So you really want to feel that in the upward transition that your horse pushes from behind and kind of trot. Good boy. Launches into that trot. Now Jacques here is being pretty good, but let's say your horse isn't responding. So you're going walk, 2, 3, 4, and you ask for trot. You close your leg. You close your calf first, remember, like I told you. So you close your calf, your horse doesn't trot, you give it 1 Mississippi, and then you've got to like give him a bigger kick and say, hey, I mean it. Good boy. And then there you saw how when I kicked him, he cantered. Did I want canter? Not really. But the fact of the matter is that I got a reaction. So it's always important when you're working on getting your horse in front of the leg that you get a reaction, good boy, and that you reward any reaction that you get. You can also do this exercise with trot canter transitions. I'm going to change direction here just because you always want to change direction frequently with your horse and make sure that you work your horse equally to the left as you do to the right, because we want our horses to get straighter. So I can do the same exercise with canter, trot, canter. So I'm going to trot for 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. canter. Good boy. And I really want these transitions to be crisp. Again, the downward transition is gradual. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the upward transition, I want it to be crisp. A lot of times horses, they like, when you ask them to canter, they do a couple strides that are like half trot, half canter, and then they pick up canter. So you really want to make sure, good boy, that these transitions are crisp. Good boy. So one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is whenever you're doing these transitions or you're working on getting your horse in front of the leg, it's always super important that you release the pressure of your leg when your horse goes forward. And again, so like let's say that I'm walking and I want my horse to trot. I close my leg, my horse trots, but then I'm just squeezing. Now he obviously is in front of the leg, right? Because when I was squeezing, he went up to canter. But what happens is if you ask your horse to go forward and you forget to release the pressure of your leg, then your horse is becoming dull. A lot of times if your horse is not in front of the leg, it's your fault. And so you have to go back and reconsider how you're using your aids to get your horse more in front of the leg. Okay, so the first exercise was transitions. The second exercise is what I call cruise control. What you're gonna do for this exercise, it's the easiest to start it in the trot. So you're gonna just pick up the trot and you're gonna push your heels down and you're gonna set the tempo. So this is the speed that I want. Think about it like in your car, if you set cruise control, you know, you're on the freeway, you set your cruise control for 60 miles per hour. Your car stays going 60 miles per hour unless you hit the brakes or the gas. And we want the same for our horse. So it should go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now there he slowed down. So I'm gonna make a correction and make him go faster. So this is the exercise. Cruise control is set here. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If he slows down 1 mile per hour slower, he has to go 5 miles per hour faster. So he slowed down. Now come on. The consequence, come on, you gotta go faster. Boy, is now he has to go 65 miles per hour. Now I'm gonna let him come back to my cruise control setting, 60 miles per hour. Obviously we're not going 60 miles per hour, but you get my point. And then if he slows down again, the consequence is he's gotta go even faster. So if he just decides to slow, I'm saying, hey, no, you've gotta go even faster. Now he's cantering, which I don't exactly want. You could just make your horse go faster in the trot, and then I'm gonna come back and say, this is the tempo I want. And I'm not going to push you to stay here. You see my heels are down, my lower leg is off. If I want him to go faster, no, I would like to see, now I want to refine it a little more and say, if I close my leg, I want a bigger trot. There. Good boy. Good boy. Now I have a bigger trot, and he should stay at this speed until I tell him otherwise. Good boy. Good boy. But that's a really fun little exercise to play with your horse, is just try to set the speed, push your heels down, and expect your horse to stay there. And then if they slow down, the consequence is they have to go faster for like half a circle or a circle, and then they can come back to that original speed. But getting your horse in front of the leg is super important because it allows you to do other things, right? Your horse has to be in front of the leg if you want to do a shoulder in or a half pass or flying changes. But it also takes being super diligent and paying attention to it at all times, because our horses trick us into supporting them and nagging them, and then all of a sudden we wonder why they're not responding to the leg, and most of the time it's our own fault. So I hope this video has helped you Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. We post a new video every single Wednesday, and there's a lot of great content here to help you out with your horse.